Oh, what's going on YouTube? It's Donnie P all day. So this is a very, very special edition of D-Bad Knife Reviews. And what makes it so special? No, really, I'm asking because so far I don't have it. Okay, so I guess it's just a regular one. So let's go over this. Boom. We're going to go with a cold steel roach belly review. And there's a reason I need to get this out. It's because these could be either get them now while they're hot or don't worry about it because they're not. We're going to check that out right now. Obviously with the selling of cold steel, a lot of the knives that you were used to getting are going to be gone possibly forever. Unless people like me do redesigns on them and send them out to people like you. But they are still available. They're out there. You can get them on eBay. You can get them at different places. But is it worth it? Is it one of those, should I get it now while it's out there? Or should I wait till something different comes along? We're going to figure that out. We're going to figure it out. So let's go over this. Now, we got a lot of snow here in New England over the last couple days. And it sucks outside. So I was thinking I need to do an inside review. But, it's something sharp. I need to put it against some wood. And doing the old fireplace wood is one thing, but so I might have to actually man up and go out in the snow and get over. But I did just eat a big fat steak, so who knows? Maybe I'm ready to go. All right, so let's go over some of the measurements on it. We have we have a polypropylene sheath. Boop. Typical. This is their this is their I told you I just had a steak. Entry-level type knives. They're dirt cheap. I mean dirt cheap. Say with me, dirt cheap. Joe Dirt Dierte because he's French. So what you're going to see is a pocket clip. You're going to see it does have a peg clip. You are going to see it does have holes in the bottom. Where's the thing? It's got holes in the bottom, so there will be drainage for water to help preserve your blade. Not much to it, just plain. But it does a good job holding the knife. You know what I mean? It does a really good job. This is my legs are bent right now and under this, so if this fell out, it would go right into my leg. So I have enough faith in this and trust in this that it's not going to stab me by letting go of the blade. Speaking of the blade, let's get into it. Blade length is 4 1/2 inches. The overall length is 8 1/2 inches. The steel is 4116 stainless. A lot of people knock 4116 because they just don't know it. Hen and Rooster, Muela, knives like these, a lot of these Spanish-made knives use 4116 a lot, and they do so very, very successfully. It really holds up. If this steel is done right, prepared right, heat-treated right, and tempered right, I'll tell you, man, this stuff goes through anything. I am a very, very big fan of 4116. It is a very good steel, and it's a stainless steel, so being like a hunting knife, which this is an outdoorsman's hunting knife. This is get through some flesh blade. It's good because you might not have the ability when in the field to completely dry your blade the way you'd want to. So if you have a carbon blade and you are, especially in winter conditions out there gutting fish or any other kind of animal, and you can't get to clean this thing properly, then sitting in your sheath, if you have an hour hike back, you know what I mean? It's just, you don't want all that liquid sitting on your blade. So being 4116 and this style of knife is a-okay with me. Let's see what else we have here. We have a weight of 2.6 ounces, a blade thickness of a mere 2.5 millimeters, and the handle is polypropylene and 4 inches long. So you do have a lanyard hole. It's more of like a peekaboo hole. You could be like, oh yeah, I see that lady in the dressing room. Stay out of there. So you have some jimping right here. It's pretty aggressive. It's a pretty aggressive jimp. Do you need it so much? No. I'm assuming they mean it more for a gloved hand than a bare hand. But just like I tell you guys, I don't do review with gloves on, even in the cold, because not everybody has the same gloves. Everybody, I mean, your hand is pretty much your hand, right? The only thing that's going to, different sizes, some guys have callus, some people don't. But as far as your hand touching this, sensation and feel are pretty much going to be all the same. You know what I mean? So I don't like to use gloves when I test. I see a lot of people do. They put gloves on, they test these blades, and then they tell you all about the feel of the knife and how it is in the hand and how do you know you have gloves on? And the gloves that the next person might be wearing could be completely different, and everything you told them is a lie. So what I want to do is give you a complete and accurate description of what the knife feels like. And what I can tell you right away is that these propylene handles, no matter how much you squeeze, I can spin it around and around and around, because even though it's textured, it's still pretty slick. When it's wet, let's see. No change. It spins at the same rate with the same squeeze. So being wet to dry, no difference. No difference at all. Not so bad. But let's see. Is it sharp? Let's see. Oh, wait. Oh, wait. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. So, of course, this thing is crazy shave sharp. I mean, crazy shave sharp to the point where I just made myself a holiday wreath out of arm hair. Gave me a sweet little bald spot though. Not so bad. So as far as edge, nothing to do with edge retention, but as far as edge out of the box, this thing is crazy sharp. I do appreciate that. I really like the fact that as a cold steel knife, it comes sharp. How does it feel overall? The grip, in my opinion, it's a 4-inch grip, but I appreciate when this area of the grip where your hand, the last part of your hand is going to catch, it should be at least 4 1/8 inches inside of here. Then the rest of it, however long it is, doesn't matter. But your actual grip should be slightly over 4 inches, because most people, big hands, small hands, if you go between 4 and 4.5, most people's hands are going to fit this way. Again, I mean, this is an 8.5 inch knife. So you see how little it is in my hands. It's tiny. But it's not a little tiny knife. It's an 8.5 inch knife. It's just, when I grab it, it's like Andre the Giant holding a beer can. Oh, balls. So remember that if you are buying this knife and you have very large hands, your pinky is going to have very little grab because you're on the round area. A little bit more and it would have been great. Or even if they just gave it a little lip right here, a little curve up, that would have held your pinky in there nice and snug, because as it sits, if I pull this way, I can take it out, right? So good thing right here, though, it should prevent your hand from going forward on a stab down, especially with your pinky there, because your pinky is going to catch that area really, really nicely, preventing self lacerations. So as little as I want to do it, we are going to go out, and we're just going to probably just see how it is, like basic stuff, feather sticking, taking off some bark, maybe getting off a couple of little limbs, and I'll see if there's something out there we can go through. As far as it's a skinner, you need to be able to put your finger down. See, here's your jimping right here. If you put your finger on the jimping here at any point, you really don't have a handle. So the jimping really doesn't matter unless you're doing a thumb cut, right? But I mean, I don't know too many people who do it with their thumb. You know what I mean? I just don't who do it with their thumb. Ooh. So if I was going to just use my finger and use my power here to go through, I have no issues whatsoever getting through that. Let's see if we can get a full grip and see if we can't corner this guy. And that's not going to be a problem. It slices very well through multiple pieces of nice, thick, hard cardboard. Voila. So let's warm up a little bit by bundling and take this little bad boy out our door. Oh, the things I do for you. So if you guys live in a cold climate, or if you plan on going skiing or something, this is a CB jacket. The CB Antarctic jackets, which is what this is. I don't know if you could actually see it. I'll tell you what, when you go from outside to from inside to outside, you don't feel a temperature change. You put this jacket on when you're inside, and when you go outside, you don't feel the cold in your body, which is pretty crazy. So this is gonna kind of suck because I have almost really no way to do this with you guys since there's so much snow. So I'm just gonna wing it. I'm gonna wing it and see if it'll work. Let's see. Try to get you adjusted. Oh yeah, how's that? How's that? So here's my stump, but it's covered in snow. Oh, and if you find yourselves at an army barracks store, you see these boots? They're rated for 60 below zero. They have all their warmth inside. These are only found, they're Arctic military boots, U.S. military. They come in black and they come in white. White is supreme cold, rated for 60 below zero. These guys, the stuff like the, what do you call it, the thinsulite is in between two pieces of rubber. So when you take off this boot and you look inside, it looks just like the outside. It's just solid rubber. The best part about it is when you get, like, if I get snow in there, the snow goes in there, you feel, it's cold. But as soon as it's in there, it like almost immediately heats up to body temperature. So no matter what temperature you're in, these things will keep your feet warm. There is no boot I can wear and these were issued. There's no boot that I wear that like if I go to, well, not this year, but like to a Patriots game and I'm sitting there in a crowd, I have very, like, man, I'm a sissy in the cold, but my feet get crazy cold. And if you're sitting there in like a fridge. Right now I have no socks on, just these. They're not tied. Frickin', you see how the pants are. But I can sit there all game long and my feet never get cold. Never. You don't, it's crazy. These boots are insane. So if you happen to see these, not the Mickey Mouse ones, not the black ones, these ones, they're fantastic. Let's do a couple drop tests and we'll see how that polypropylene handle is going to make it drop from 4 feet in the sky down to the stump. That drops pretty good. Let's do a couple hardwood downward throws and we'll see how that handle is going to stay on there and how that tip is going to hold up. And I don't want to miss my throw because then I got to dig this thing out of the snow. Oh yeah. So you can throw it and hit it really, really solid. Really, really solid. This thing's got a very fine tip. The tip is chiseled in there really nice. And there's not going to be any folding or anything like that hitting a frozen stump. So let's continue on through this wilderness of snow. And we'll get to some hardwood to feather. Right now I'm jamming your asses in there. All right, so let's see. Let's see. Take a piece of this off and voila. So let's see here. Let's see here. Let's see. Oh yeah, so now when I'm feathering something like this and I'm going these fast strokes, a lot of times you're going to feather different. People will put it down and they'll go like this and they'll try to get these nice long swoops. When you have a hardwood, if you just go really fast and you move the stick round and round and round and round, eventually that happens and it's awesome. Another way I like to feather, for me personally, and a lot of people you'll hear them, they always say, oh, never cut toward yourself. Well, bull, because if I want a concentrated curl, then what I'll do is I'll bring it toward me and right over the forearm, so I know it's not going anywhere. And all the curls that I'm making are going to stop themselves. So don't let people try and tell you how you need to use a knife. And unless you're doing something like this, then okay, now you're an idiot. But a controlled cut, far enough away from your own face, you're going to be okay. And you can see all this right here. Look at that. That's good fluff. That's good fluff. It's a good fluff lollipop. Let's see. Let's see. Now, this is not in any way, shape, or form a chopping knife. It is far too light, far too slippery to be a chopper. But chopping this way, it's a form of feather sticking that kind of sucks because the feathers are pretty much leaving. Some of them are going to stay on there, but a lot of them are going to be here. So if this was my fire pit and I start doing this right above my fire pit, all of my shavings are dropping right there. So it's very simple for me to just scoop them together and put them where I need them by doing that. So if you are not a very good feather sticker, something like this, where you're chopping almost straight, right? So you're barely hitting the stick, and you're just doing these little tiny chops, you are going to get so many sweet little pieces, and they're going to be falling down right below you, right where you want to concentrate them at. So if you really need to sweep up pieces, and you don't do it over a big pile of snow because you can't sweep them up that way, you would clear your snow first if you were in a snowy condition. If you're not in a snowy condition, then it doesn't matter because they're right there. So stuff like that, very, very easy. Let's see how this edge is looking. This edge is looking mighty, mighty nice. Mighty, mighty mouse. All right, let's keep going. Whoo! Snow in the boot. I'm telling you, it goes in and then immediately it stops being cold. I like that because I don't like the cold. All right, so let's pull out one of these guys right here. Something big. I want to take off a couple of these little branches down here. So I'm going to chop against the groove, so they're going this way. I'm chopping that way. I'm not chopping, I'm sorry, with them, not against them. So if it's bending up, I can come this way, but then I have to chop. If I go this way, they're generally going to come off a lot easier. As you see, I just got rid of all of them just like that. It's a little trick. Some people like to go this way. See how long that takes? Go this way. There's two of them right there. Right there, same thickness as this one. That's taken 11 chops. But for some reason, when you're going that way, it just comes off easier. Let's see if we can get a really nice underneath the skin here. Some cucumber salad. And this is precision cutting. And what I want to do is I want to take off just the bark, but leave the green and not touch the actual wood. And so you'll see, here's the difference in color, right? Here's your bark is brown. Underneath the bark, there's a thin layer of green. It's like a film, really, really thin. And then under the film is white. There's your stick. See? So a good edge, a really fine edge, can give you that cucumber salad, can give you that beautiful green. It looks like a peeled cucumber. And that's what you want. Then if you want to get more, boom, you can peel off more. But what that tells me is that the edge is very fine. I can carve out just what I need and everything is good. So now if I need to use this knife to make pit spikes, spears, arrows, you know, some kind of fishing spear, I know that this fine tip is going to leave me with a very, very nice point. No problemo. I was hoping that I could find like an old soccer ball so we can go through some skin, but everything's buried. So I don't know if I think I see one. And it's white. How do I see that? All right, so let's get over there and see if we can't get through it. Because if you can get through a frozen soccer ball, you can get through a freshly killed whatever you just freshly killed. All right, let's see. Let's see. Let me kneel down in this. Ooh, this is actually a ball. It's solid. It's not cut yet. So I'm going to see if we can do a first cut. I'll get my jacket over my sweater. There we go. All right. So, woo. Wow, that went through so easy. So now we have leather soccer ball with a rubber inner tube, and this thing just goes straight through, no problem. I mean, that was easy freaking entry. into that leather, and into the rubber. So if you're talking about a knife that can skin, which is why you'd be buying this, you know, if you're going to be processing fish or processing game, this little guy right here could be what you're looking for, and they're dirt cheap. Is it worth getting, like, compared to, say, the old timer, right? You can get the old timer from Strayed, classic. I love them. I love the old timer, but would this do the trick over the old timer? This would give you a edge that's going to last longer than the Strayed. It's just going to keep going. This, you're not going to get any cold spots because this polypropylene, so that's not so bad. Whew, man, I hate this weather. So now you see why I bought all that land in Arizona. So this is it. I'll tell you, is it worth the little bit of money that this thing sells for? Absolutely. It's actually definitely worth the money. It's a good little skinner. It gets the job done. It does exactly what needed to do, right? And for the price, and I'm not going to quote the price because I know I'll get it wrong. I think they're sub $20. But since cold steel is done, as far as the old school cold steel, this might be something that they might not produce anymore. I don't know. I haven't been on the site, but this could be something worth grabbing now, especially if you're like a small to mid-sized game hunter. This little thing right here, or fisherman, this could be to go. And because it's 4116, if you are a fisherman, this might be really good for you. If you're not looking for a giant fillet knife, if you want something smaller, that can definitely still tackle big fish, this one could be your go-to blade for that kind of thing. Not too shabby. We can get a little, oh yeah. Oh, hey, look at that. I already shaved, but I got some shadow fur. And I don't know if you can see it, but I just picked some of that off of there right there. Not so bad. Standing out in the cold and shaving myself where I'm probably just going to cut off some goosebumps and bleed to death in the backyard. Yeah, wow, that's a D-Bad video. So that's it. We got some more knives we got to get to. I got the mailman brave enough to try and drive into the driveway. Let me end this right here. I am Donnie B all day. Until next video.